on victory, straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. That's me about my life, man, I love it, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother, we the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bring it home victory, straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
The oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Packers at 7-2 here on the year. Their head coach, he's got them believing in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 50 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Jones. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep, and he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And now can they reverse the trend on third and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
Hey, 26.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
Prescott.
Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Prescott's going to keep this. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That was all Preston Smith. Navigating into the backfield. He gets the tackle for loss.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. To throw is Prescott. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. And some space here. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit, because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On the option, here's Elliott.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Elliott. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
A lot of storylines in this matchup. The Packers have had the upper hand. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings. You think about the Dez Bryant game in the playoffs and the catch, no catch controversy. But, of course, the news here, the return of Mike McCarthy. He was the coach here from 2006 to 2018. Only Curly Lambeau himself has more wins as a Packer coach than McCarthy, and that includes Vince Lombardi. So he had quite an accomplished tenure, no doubt, including the Super Bowl win.
Slot man moves right. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, Prescott.
They'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
That's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the 17, Prescott
finding Tolbert here over the middle. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
Now Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
They'll try again with Elliott. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Now Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Touchdown! Ezekiel Elliott. He has career touchdown number 78, tying it with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list.
And the Cowboys go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fields this way up at the 17. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
This is fielded at the 27. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this. Prescott.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this kick will be touched down as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
On first down, Rodgers setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers, and he fires one incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Anthony Brown.
And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Following the interception, here's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Dak's going to tuck and run.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On third down, Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On second down, Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing, Prescott.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered.
And it's a Packers touchdown.
Romeo Doubs,
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
and the Packers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Well, it took them a little while, but they are on the board here in this third quarter now with a chance to tie this up.
And it gives them a chance to exhale just a little bit, right? Because most of the time, if your first points come in the second half, you're often hopelessly out of the game, but not in this case. Now they have something to build on and a chance to mount a comeback.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Prescott now from the 50. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Left side to Lamb. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. They keep on the ground with Elliott. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They go to Elliott again. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Play action now, Prescott. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. On 4th down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brett Maher, for the field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And now off to the races, down the right side. 30, 10, 5. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Now Crosby for the point after. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And no
return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Prescott now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Prescott to throw it. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now here's the option play going left. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Elliott running right. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's Prescott.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Inside give to Elliott. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Prescott from the gun. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
You want to put together a long drive? You've got to be able to convert on 3rd down, and they've done exactly that on this one. Sure enough, came up with another conversion right there.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Rashawn Gary that time through the line and getting the tackle for loss.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott.
Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Got the completion, but it certainly wasn't on his time frame. Hurried on that play.
Absolutely. The pressure affected him. Unable to get it further downfield. The kick by Marr is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 43. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. Now a first down carry by Jones. Room here to run. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point try now for Crosby. It's good, and it's 21-10. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now Dak. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble blocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice game there. This one goes for 20. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Green Bay, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shut out Tech 9. Go and shut the up, just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliant.
World, all the boys and girls, I got some true stories to tell. Get back outside, but they still lie. Whoa, yeah.
Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss, take off the weird jewelry, I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top off. Take off the fabricate streams and the microwave memes, it's a real world outside. Take off your idols, take off the runway, take off the Cairo, take off the Sandro Pay, 5-day stay, take off for the meal, hella follow. Take off the far flag, take off perception, take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure, take off the unsure, take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep, take off the fake woke, take off